Hi, Tina here. Okay, I'm hoping to make this relatively quick today. Last night I was tuning into what today's video was wanting to be on, and the message today is just to know the power of your choice. I'm going to start off with a couple key reminders of 3 universal truths. So the first one is that everyone has free will. Everyone is free to be, do, and have what they choose. And everyone is free to choose how they think and how they believe. The second one is that you are a yes-based universe. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment. And the third is that you and only you has control over your choice. Okay, so being a yes-based universe, what does that mean? So I want to quickly say too that, it might sound odd that I'm saying that you are a yes-based universe. It's just remember that there's no disconnect between you and anything. So there's no you and the universe. There's no you and God. There's no you and source. There's no you and creation. It's all one. Okay. So you are a yes-based universe. And what that means is that everything that you say yes to is responded to with a yes, because everything is affirmative. Everything it's a yes. So something that can be helpful to understand is that if we hold our focus on a no, that we're actually saying yes to something. So the purpose of the no is actually to help us discern what it is that we prefer or what our yes is. I hope that makes sense. Where we can get stuck is when we dwell in the no, because we have an old habit of focusing on what we don't prefer, and we just continue to say no to it. And we push against it. Some other ways that we say no is like just being really angry about it, being frustrated, being annoyed. And those are all very healthy ways of being to help us discern what it is that we prefer. Where things kind of dip and we get out of balance is when we get stuck in that no. It's kind of, we're just spinning our wheels in the mud. Jeez. Excuse me. So, again, just the invitation here is to bring awareness to, is there anything going on right now that you are feeling like, I cannot have that in my life? That has to be a no, and I can't budge on that no. I want to invite you to just shift your focus and go, what is it that you would actually prefer to see in its place? And that's something that requires a little bit of practice, because there's a part of us that doesn't trust that it's okay to look away from what we don't want. But you're not looking away from it, you're looking toward what you prefer. And that's a huge difference. I think about the example of when I was younger and working at, different jobs, and, there'd be some point where I'd be like, okay, I'm out of here. And I would walk away from it. And then as I was awakening, I realized at some point that the thing that I was trying to walk away from kept happening, and that I was the common denominator. So then I realized, I have to focus toward what I actually prefer. And then that's a whole process in itself. At least it was for me at that time. But realizing the importance of the energy of that. Because if I'm walking away from something, I've just got it tied to me. And I'm just dragging it like a ball and chain. And if I just allow it to be, and I let it go, and I empower my focus toward what it is that I prefer, game changer. So this is how we utilize the creative power of our consciousness, okay? By focusing on your yes, holding your vibration up, okay? The reason this is wanting to come up is because, this whole year has been such a shakeup, I always use that metaphor of the snow globe. The snow globe's been sitting on the shelf for a long time, and every once in a while, in our personal growth journeys or our path of awakening, it feels like everything gets shaken up. And this was global scale, universal scale. Everything is just, whew. So lots going on. You don't need me to tell you that. But in terms of, okay, so because there are a lot of old restrictive energies that are still coming up, and there's going to continue to be, there are old methods of control and oppression that are there, that are very much present and really making a hard effort to maintain the status quo of what has been. But because we have entered a new energy cycle, because we are embodying more light, and this is happening exponentially because our consciousness is expanding exponentially, those energies again can be kind of getting, trying a lot harder to kind of hold control. And what's happening within us, because we have lived in a very long, or several cycles of dark oppression, and we've had very uncomfortable, to say the least, experiences of life, but that's just low consciousness. We may be finding some of those old fears coming up, and it's very valid if you're feeling that. If you're feeling afraid because of some of the things that you're seeing and hearing, it totally makes sense because you've lived that. And there's a part of you that's saying, no, I can't go back into that box. I cannot go back into that hole. I will not do that. So, okay, there's your yes. That's what you're saying yes to, is you're saying yes to, I am done with that. And now I am saying yes to my power. So this is the importance of this reminder of knowing the power of your choice, because you get to choose. You get to choose all of this. And you don't have to wait for something to happen in order to know that your answer is a yes. Start embodying this now. Okay, so know that, again, just the reminder that you and only you has control over your choice. So you get to choose what you do. You get to choose, and I'm going to refer specifically to the body. Your body is yours alone. Your body is your business alone. It's nobody else's. Your mind is also your business alone. You can think, you can believe, whatever you wish. You can focus your powerful mind toward whatever you wish. The reminder here is to notice that when we are in that fear, that's just our old unconscious mind that is putting on old records of experience from the subconscious, right? So bringing everything to this light of consciousness and really bringing your attention and focus toward what you prefer. So if you're having any fear, this is just that reminder. Yes, okay, I'm just looking at my notes. So yeah, it is time to intentionally align your cellular consciousness with the new paradigms, with the new energies. So whatever it is that because again, I won't go all into it. I have done another video or a couple of videos on the metaphorical energies of 2020. There was three types of visions that I was shown, one being hindsight, one being peripheral, and then the future. And the future was sort of blank. And the message with that was, well, you can't really create the future that you prefer until you're getting clear on your hindsight and your peripheral. So I guess I'll just quickly. So the hindsight was just understanding that everything is connected. All the dots are connected for a bigger picture. So in those moments where you don't understand what's going on and you're maybe in fear, trust. Peripheral was blinders coming down, and we are seeing more of what's going on around us, which is more of what's happening within us, right? So that's why we're feeling all this kind of stirring around and a little bit of push and pull, a lot of old restrictive energies, because there is also a part of us that wants to stay in fear. And again, that even though it's innate and it's so resonant for us to be free, there's still sort of gap in our perception that's merging, because what does that really mean to be free? So, and live in a peaceful world, and live in a compassionate world and societies, and, be all of that. So the invitation with this is to really focus on embodying that, setting that as a practice for every day. What is it that you're wanting to create as your future, and embodying that? And we're not just talking about sports cars or necessarily any of those kind of old things that we kind of held the focus on, but just in that bigger picture, what do you, if your systems look differently, if the financial systems, the economic systems were different, what might that look like? What might that feel like? Our educational systems, our health systems, our political systems, right? Our judicial systems, all of that. What would that look like? What would that feel like? And really just bring your focus to that and find out where your yes is in all these aspects, because you're creating it all. So, no pressure, but there's no pressure. So again, just because, this month especially, keep in mind for December, there's a lot of energetics happening. Stay centered as best you can. Hold your personal vibrational maintenance as your top priority. Realize that there's that chaotic energy is still swirling around, and I always envision, if you're standing as the eye of the storm and this hurricane is just swirling around you, so you can dip one little toe in there and you're swept up. So just keep focusing on your center. Breathe. And yeah, I think that's, okay. Sorry. There was another note here of, so with the expansion of our consciousness, there's no stopping this new cycle of energy. There's no stopping this. There's a lot of resistance that will be coming up. And, yeah, so just keep that in mind, because there's a lot of old energies that just, they thrive in certain environments. And I had said in the last video that those dark energies, they thrive in hiding. They thrive in not being seen. And we're seeing them. That's those blinders coming down. We're seeing what's been happening and how things have been functioning in our world. And we're saying no. But that no is empowering our yes. So continue to, pivot your focus toward the yes, because that holds your vibration up and it lifts it higher and higher and higher. So again, on the point of there's no stopping this, the only anchor that we can kind of have within our mind is the belief that someone else has control over you. So any time that, we feel like, oh, I can't breathe, I don't want to go back into that box, I don't want to go back into that hole. Nobody has control over you. Not anymore. And not that they ever really did, but collectively we were at such a level of consciousness that we allowed many things to happen because we didn't know better. Now we are knowing better. Okay, I hope this is helpful. So that could be something for you to work on too. If you're feeling any of that restriction in yourself, maybe just ask yourself, do I have a belief? Like, what are my beliefs here? Do I have a belief that somebody has control over me? Do I believe that they have the right to control me? What are my beliefs on my rights with my body and my mind? Okay? Okay. So much love to you. I hope you are enjoying these days as best you can. Yeah, keep shining your light. You're beautiful. Know your power. Know your power. Know your power. Okay, much love.